Stand by. The program will begin soon. I don't know why I'm talking about this. During World War II, we sent 90 million pounds of spam just to the Russians alone. I mean, we sent it all over the world. Our troops, especially in the Pacific Theater, ate it. That was basically what they ate all the time. 90 million pounds to the Russians. Apparently in like the 50s, Nikita Khrushchev said, you know, if they hadn't sent us all this spam, they might not have been able to feed their troops during World War II. So a little weird canned kind of ham pork product, canned meat, may have won World War II. And the Fed is trending on X. I wasn't sure why, and I'm still not 100% sure why, although part of it is because of this building that they're renovating. They're supposed to be renovating one of the buildings at the Fed, right? And the other day, Donald Trump came out there with Jerome Powell, and they're talking about how the renovation of the building was kind of a little bit over budget, okay? First of all, the numbers on this are crazy. They wanted $2.something billion to renovate a building at the Fed. $2.1 billion. Well, this is $2.5 billion. But they're over budget by over $1 billion for one building. They're over budget over $1 billion for one building. $1 billion friggin' dollars for one building. This isn't even for building a new building. It's for renovating a building. What the actual F are they doing? If after a night of filling your rectum with vodka from a turkey baster, the cops find you changing a flat in the cereal aisle of a Piggly Wiggly and ask how much you've had to drink, and you say nothing, are you lying? Well, no. Now, if they had been asking, have you been injecting? You'd have to say yes, but they said, have you been drinking? Well, no, absolutely. Yeah, Lord Stanhope, absolutely not. In fact, you all can try to answer these questions. Stand by. The program will begin soon. A WNBA game got stopped in the middle of the game because one of the players lost their wig while they're playing, and they had to run off. And then some fan made fun of the player, and they had to run. And they kicked the fan out for making fun of a player losing the weave. Not a weave, it was a wig. Losing their wig. They had to have a timeout for the wig, a wig emergency. Which I'm like, why the F are you wearing a wig while you're playing basketball? But then yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, a game had to be stopped briefly because someone threw a big old green dildo on the floor. Someone threw a dildo out on the floor, out on the court. They had to stop the game. I don't know if they caught the person who sent the dildo, but the green dildo was on the court, and a good large number of the players had no idea what to do with something of that shape, but that's okay. It happened, and then someone made this t-shirt or this meme, pay us what you owe us, which has a dildo on it. So that was fun. Hey, you know what the really good interrupt violence through community-based bystander training? Yeah, if the bystanders beat the fuck out of someone who's attacking somebody else, that would be great bystander training. They could send them to the MMA gym, you know, put them in an arm bar, smack them in the face a few times. Stop doing that bullshit. That would be the best community-based bystander training, but I don't think that's what it means. Anyway. And then the other one, they'll go back all the way to Dylan Roof. Dylan Roof's the other one, which, does anyone, okay, let me ask you something. A lot of you are right-leaning on the right. Is there anybody in this that you, anyone you know of? Is there anyone that you know of on the right who supports or supported Dylan Roof? Because I know everyone I can think of who's like, Dylan Roof, fuck that guy. He went out and murdered people in a church. Fuck that guy. But the left is like, oh, he was a right-wing extremist. Nah, he's a fucking asshole. Fuck that guy. Yeah, fuck Dylan Roof. Nobody gives a shit about Dylan Roof. Nobody claims him. Nobody wants him. He's an asshole. Okay? He's a little punk bitch asshole who killed a bunch of people in the church. Stand by. The program will begin soon. Reverend Robin Bartlett of First Church of Sterling, Massachusetts, uses John 1:14 of the Bible to justify why she brings her 11-year-old son to drag shows. This is what we're getting in the Rainbow Church. The Rainbow Church aren't exactly hiding. That's true. The Word became flesh and lived among us, and my body, your body, their bodies are home for the living God. That is why I take my 11-year-old boy to drag shows in the summer with my friend and fellow church leaders, Kate, and her 11-year-old boy. Especially if you're a man, bodies can be celebrated and played with. That's her message. What the fuck? California wants to let someone that is not related to your child remove her from school, him or her, enroll her in any other school in the state, authorize any medical treatment, including mental health services and drugs, without the parent's notice and knowledge or consent. Can you see where that might be a problem? This is not fear-mongering. I'm not being hyperbolic, she warned. These are unintended consequences, and it is terrifying. They are unconscionable or unavoidable. So that's one really bad California law that they're coming with. I can't believe. I'm just dumbfounded that they're doing it. Now this is interesting. That new mayor candidate, the leading Democratic mayor candidate for New York City mayor, Damme, wants cops to stop responding to attacks on Jews. And by the way, Jews in the New York City are victims of the majority of hate crimes. Not a plurality, but the majority of hate crimes against people in New York are against Jewish people. And you know, especially religious hate crimes. Anyway, 345 hate crimes in New York City last year, more than all other minority groups combined, according to the New York Police Department data. Anti-Jewish crimes accounted for 54% of the 641 total hate crimes reported to police in the city in 2024. Since the beginning of the year, 60% of the 123 recorded hate crimes have targeted Jews, according to the New York Police Department. Well, Zohran Mamdani, the radical Islamist and leftist terrorist supporter, has proposed that New York Police Department not respond to hate crimes, instead that they be handled by social workers. Either this shifts resources away from responding to attacks on Jews and moves away from having law enforcement deal with those attacks, and instead it has its political leftist allies deal with them by burying them. Right? Show. If I put something on the screen or I'm talking about it, or it's a topic or an article that I'm presenting in this show, I provide links to every single thing that I've talked about, and even more, the ones I didn't even get to, I drop them in the chat at the end of the show, and also I drop them in the description. So if you want to find these articles, they will be in the links at the end of the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only PDawg Knight.
Howdy. What's up, people? Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I am your host, Marty, also known as Dawg Knight on the internet. Welcome back to the Dawg Knight Channel, where it's a dumpster fire every day. That's why I use the little dumpster fire GIF in my announcement of the show today on X, the app formerly known as Twitter, which is pretty appropriate because X is kind of a dumpster fire too. Look, there's something interesting. It's interesting because I do get a lot of my news from just finding breaking news stories on X, the app formerly known as Twitter, and but usually if I see something, I go, well, that seems interesting, whether it's from the left or the right, whatever. I try to go at least get one other additional source that at least can tell me a little bit more, because sometimes people hype things on the internet, I call it the great internet telephone game. You know, the game telephone, where you sit in a big circle when you're a kid and a bunch of kids are sitting around the room, and you tell the first kid one thing, and then that kid has to whisper it in that person's ear one time, and then the next person to come around, and then it's a lot of times either it's so completely different, something else. You start out with pencil, and the last kid says Lake Michigan, okay? Or it's just a thing where people start embellishing on stories, and that's what happens on the internet all the time. And so there's a couple stories. Well, one story in particular that I noticed from yesterday that I wanted to talk about, because there's these two young men here were found ended in a way that would indicate, or at least make you first think about the history of the state of Mississippi, and even the movie Mississippi Burning, although not exactly, but I just thought Mississippi Burning would be a good analogy title. And but not knowing, well, let's just say that people found some ways to make up some information, and everyone believed it, and now everyone's going to have to figure out how to walk it back. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm talking about, even though that doesn't, that's very cryptic of me to put it that way, even though Cryptic's not here. But maybe he'll pop in. Who knows what happens? Cryptic pops in and out every once in a while. Anyway, so that's where we're going today. And plus, there's a lot of stuff in the news, and that's what I talk about every day. If you've never been here before, or if you're watching on replay, that's what we do here, is we just talk about what's happening in the news from my perspective. I'm not necessarily it's a political perspective, because I have a political perspective, and I have a personal philosophy perspective that tends to lean towards the people who are in power the most right now in the United States of America. But, anyway. So let's say hi to everybody and get this thing going. Why can't I hear myself? That's weird. My monitor is really low for today. Can you guys hear me okay? I hope you can. It's apparently, well, okay. So let's say hi and let's get it going. First in the chat today, of course, the world is right today. Avocados Diablo gets the bell. Good morning, sir. I appreciate you being here. Also, good morning to Mike Savage, Blarg, Louie is in the house. Resolute Germ, what's up? Midnight, what up, young lady? I hope you learn lots of things. I hope you're learning lots. I know you're one of those. You school yourself some things or whatever, computer, internet learning, and it's that's pretty cool, actually. I think you're going to see a lot more of that coming in the near future. Green Badger Outdoors is here. Renee Mayette is in the house. Blue Eyed Scream. Let's see. Johnny Boomertech's on the board. Jeffrey Russell Jr., what's up, man? Nice to have you back. Someone wanted to take the pressure off the left because how evil they showed themselves to be. Yeah, kind of. That's what I'm saying. Well, yeah, and I'm going to show you a video by someone I still follow, and I used to enjoy a lot of his content, but now his content's kind of repetitive and very complaining, and he's angry now. He's an angry young fellow, but we're going to watch his video about this particular topic because it embraces everything that I'm talking about when you use the internet as your source of news, especially when you're, well, not even just the internet, social media. When you use social media as your source of news, because a TikToker has blown something up in a way that it's almost humorous how well, not even humor. It's kind of sick. Let me just say that. I'll tell you later. All right. The Pope is here with the message of hope. Yes, Pope Tyranius III, the blessed lich, who says blessings of the sacred dead. Yesterday it was cold and gloom. Today it was bright and sunny. You too can change for the better. 24 hours is more than enough time to improve your life. Oh, that's a very good message. I like that. I like that. So, we're waiting for more people. Well, I'm not waiting for more people to show up. I'm going to do my filler bit here. Hello, there's 17 people here, 4 likes. That's a problem. If you haven't hit the like button yet, I mean, come on. Look at this. Look at his face. You got to like this. All right. And also share the stream. Oh, I didn't do that, did I? I didn't ask you to share the stream. Did I even put it in here? Let me see if nope, that's not even the right paste. What the hell did I do? Well, if you haven't shared the stream, here, I'm going to give you an opportunity. If you haven't done it already, some of you already have, but I didn't. What the hell? Oh, now my mouse decides to take a shit. Come on, mouse, work. There we go. It won't. Oh, it's being uncooperative. Hang on. Good Lord. This should not be so hard. It's frozen. I don't get it. Okay, there's that. Now let's bring it over here. This is very annoying. Holy shit. Here we go. What am I looking for? CloudBot. And that. And that. Copy. And I'll paste. There we go. All right. I'm pinning it to the top. If you haven't already done the let's go thing or hi or whatever to the stream, please do that now after you hit the like button. God, I hate that this friggin' mouse doesn't work. That's really friggin' annoying. Okay, because it's hard to do my job here. Come on! I hope this isn't a I hope this isn't a smoke alarm situation where it really is the batteries. It doesn't seem like it though, because I turned it on and off and the green light comes on. So that doesn't make sense. Anyway. All right. Shall we do the show? Thanks to people who've already shared the show. Let's see. Let me go scroll down here. There's the scrolling works. That's fine. We'll start with Mike Savage Day. Mike Savage with the daily the Let Us Go. I've already reposted that. And also the Happy Hump Day like to that, because it is Hump Day. Hump Day! I always forget about that, the 17th of September, 2025. Reaction on Puerto Rico on point with the other dumpster fire. He noticed that I posted a dumpster fire. Also, Green Badger with the daily military planes flying over the carrier there. That's a pretty cool shot. I wonder who took that. Green Badger Outdoors also with the back at you with the little Bill Murray action. It was Wild Wolf tweeting out the show, asking about what about Mississippi's burning again. Find out more in the amazing trending topic content creator Dawg Knight. I like that. Thank you, Miss Wild Wolf. By the way, good morning to you too. Also, my friend Woo from high school. Now What Studios, my dear friend from high school. And let's see, Miss Wild Wolf with who is that? Is that the ice chick from what's that show called? Frozen? Is that her? Walking out of the fire? Anyway. And then people retweeted the stream. Will It Forge? Mr. X. Tall person. Are you here, tall person? That'd be nice. And Reaction Puerto Rico, who's probably in the chat somewhere too. But, And Tyler Alexander, the Daily Ric Flair. Woo! So there you go. All right, thanks to those of you who share the stream. Share the stream somewhere. I don't care where. It doesn't have to be on X, just wherever you want to go. Elsa, yeah, Elsa. That's the name of the ice chick from Frozen. I've never, it's funny. I've never seen that movie. I have never seen Frozen. Frozen came out kind of after my kids were kind of beyond the Disney movie thing, but I know my daughter's seen it. But I've never seen Frozen. All I know about it is the Let It Go song and that funny little snowman looking thing. That's Frozen, right? The Goofy Snowman. Yeah, the Goofy Snowman. So there you go. No, I love that movie. I just haven't seen it. I haven't got to see Emily. Neither have I. I am straight. Well, yeah, I mean, it would be more likely that I've seen it had I been gay, but whatever, everyone you do you. So, all right, it is Hump Day, and unfortunately, I can't scroll on the Hump Day thing. The first one here, this is nice. This adopted puppy here. I'll show you the video. This adopted puppy understands her shelter days are over, and her happiness is worth seeing. Nobody can buy love, but everybody can find it in a shelter. Good Wednesday, happy Hump Day. This is a touching. I'm a rescue dog guy. Now ours didn't come from shelters, but this is one of those heartbreaking and tear-jerking things when the dogs, heartbreaking that they're abandoned, but tear-jerker when they are so happy to find an owner. Here we go.
Benny.
Oh, this dog knows it's going somewhere else than this stupid shelter. Get me the hell out of here. Hello, Keisha. What up, Kirsten? Yeah, so... Oh, man. I can't stop watching this. I'm tearing up. This is so nice. Yeah, it's like, get me the hell out of here.
Hi, Benson. Hi, Benson.
Okay, so there you go. Happy Hump Day. And the happy hump scrolling thing. It's here. I'm going to take this off the screen because I've got to make sure. I was going to do one for AD, but unfortunately, it's all boobs and vaginas and penises and shit. I can't show. Here's one I can show you. This is a meme. Leftists, when a dentist tells them that their teeth should be white and straight. Okay, enough with jokes. Anyway, so if you're into, there's, I guess, on the Happy Hump Day, there's fewer nude body parts. So I could scroll it, but I'm not gonna do the eye candy thing today. Well, the links today. Avocados aptly says, I like boobs. Yes, boobs are fantastic, but not on YouTube and not when they're not covered. So when you go to the links today, go to the Hump Day tab, whatever, and scroll to your heart's content because there's plenty of it there today, and I just can't show it on YouTube. Holiday today is Constitution Day, which was weird because it's not on the holiday calendar thing. So I'm making sure, maybe I got the wrong day. Was it yesterday? No, it's today. Happy Constitution Day. Our Constitution was made only for a moral and religious people. It is wholly inadequate to the government of any other, says John Adams. That's a quote of John Adams. U.S. Department of Education says it's 238 years since the U.S. Constitution was signed. Today, we honor the foundation of our great nation, a living document that secures our freedoms, shapes our democracy, and unites us as Americans. Whoever wrote that line, a living document, can kiss my ass. No, it's not. It's not meant to be a living document. It's meant to be. It's meant to have a foundation. It's meant to be foundational. It's not meant to be moved around and changed, whatever. If you change it, it's hard to change the Constitution for a reason. And so we have to be very careful when we do it. And we found that out when we repealed the no alcohol amendment. Was that the 18th that we repealed with the 21st or something like that? Anyway, the prohibition amendment, that was a mistake. But the Bill of Rights, no, they're not meant to be living. They're meant to be foundational. So anyway, good morning, Rexio in Puerto Rico. Made it to the chat. How you doing? So happy Constitution Day, other holidays today, National Pet Bird Day, International Country Music Day. Oh, my wife's ears and brain is burning right now. Time's Up Day. What the hell does that mean? Today is Time's Up Day. Join the movement to create a world where everyone can live and work free from harassment, abuse, and discrimination. Oh, that Time's Up. Oh, there's Constitution Day. It is on here. I didn't think it was. National Professional House Cleaners Day. That's me. National School Backpack Awareness Day. Wow. Make sure you know what's in your kids' backpacks. National Patient Safety Day, which should be international, it should be every day. Smithsonian Day. Go check out the Smithsonian Institution. Pitru Paksha. When is this day holiday going to end? They list it every friggin' day. Is it every day in September? I don't understand. Hi, Shrapnel. What's up? World Patient Safety Day, which again should be every day. National Bobby Day, if your name's Bobby. Grow up. Just be Bob. Except for, well, who? Think of a Bobby. Oh, well, no, because they don't call Robert Kennedy Jr. Bobby. I don't know. If you're an adult, it's hard to take you serious if you still go by Bobby. I'm just saying. Oh, Pitru Paksha Day lasts 16 days. Okay, but shouldn't that? Well, okay, I got you. Australian Citizenship Day and International Grenache Day. Grenache is a special grape and made a special wine, I guess. So there you go. All right, those are the holidays. That's boring. Let's see. Anything? Oh, and then celebrity birthdays. Now, today's the birthday of, what's the Indian president's first name? I know his last name's Modi. Narendra Modi. And I noticed that a lot of people are, wishing him well on X and whatever, or on various outlets. And for example, you got Netanyahu wishing Modi a happy 75th birthday. You got Donald Trump wishing him happy 75th birthday. We got Bill Gates wishing him happy 75th birthday. We got, what's this dude? Is this the Google guy, Rishi Sunak, wishing him a happy 76th birthday? Lots of people wishing him a happy birthday, but it's all this particular handles has everyone wishing him a happy 75th birthday. I don't know who this dude is. This is the chairman and managing director of Reliance Industries Limited, Mukesh Ambani. Anyway, so they're very invested in wishing Modi a happy birthday. So there you go. Happy birthday, Modi. Now, an actual celebrity birthday today also would be none other than Dougie Fresh. It's Dougie Fresh's birthday. What is this? So anyway, happy birthday, Dougie Fresh, one of the originals in the hip-hop. I'm just going to say, hip-hop legend, Dougie Fresh. La-di-di-di-di, we like to party. Yes, Dougie Fresh. If you're not familiar, become familiar. Legend of hip-hop history. All right, moving on. Coachella's announced his lineup for 2025, and some people are not happy about it. Someone says, am I just getting old, or does the Coachella lineup continue to get worse every year? Now, and a lot of people are comparing it to the lineup from, they're comparing to the time Beyonce was there. They're comparing to the lineup when Rage Against the Machine was one of the headliners. So just if you're interested, I know nobody here gives a shit, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Here's the lineup for Coachella 2025. And it's kind of weird. Sabrina Carpenter, I have no idea who that is, but I'm sure Midnight, you probably know who Sabrina Carpenter is. Headlines one of the nights with XX, 9 Inch Noise, not 9 Inch Nails, 9 Inch Noise, Disclosure, Turnstile, Ethel Kane, Dijon, Teddy Swims. I know Teddy Swims. Teddy Swims is pretty cool. Good, I like his music. Cat's Eye, Devo. Oh my gosh, they're bringing back Devo? Like they got to be in their 60s. Sexy Red, Central C, Foster the People, Levity, Blood Orange, Moby. Speaking of 60, Oh Lord, Marlon Hofstad. Who else is on here? I'm just now because there's like 50 names on the first night, and I can name or recognize a very few. Do I recognize any of these others? Okay, so no, I don't recognize anyone else. Second, Saturday, Justin Bieber's the headliner, and I know Justin Bieber isn't. I think he's actually putting out some new music here. The Strokes, I'm familiar with the Strokes. Give On, Addison Rae, Labyrinth, Somber, David Byrne, like from the Talking Heads? Really? Interesting. Interpol, Alex G, Sway Lee, Solomon, Tamon, Pink Panthers, Royal, I don't know any of these names. Let's see. Boys Noise, Geese, Green Velvet. You know, usually they have some, you know, nostalgia picks like David Byrne. Okay, none of the other ones I recognize. And then the third night, Sunday night, the headliner is Carol G. I have no idea. But Young Thug, who apparently got off on the murder charges in Georgia. Cascade, Big Bang, Laundry, Major Lazer, Iggy Pop. Oh my God, I thought he was dead. FK Twigs, Wet Leg, Clips, Subtronics, Little Miz, Mock Chalk, Duke Dumont, Worship, and I don't recognize any more names on here. Oh, Suicidal Tendencies, they're from the 90s. Black Flag, wait a minute, this can't be the original Black Flag, the punk band from the late 80s. Like, there's no way. That would be sad to see Black Flag. Iggy Will Never Die. Yeah, maybe not. But he still performs in like leather pants and no shirt, and he's like 76 years old, and he just looks terrible. Let's see, anyone else on here that I recognize? No. So anyway, yeah, there you go. That's Coachella. You know, it's funny. The funny thing about Coachella is more than half the people who go to Coachella have to finance the tickets because they're so freaking expensive. Lady Gaga set the bar way too high with her Coachella performance, a pure theatrical spectacle blending pop, rock, and even opera, packed with worldwide hits. True, one of the greatest musical shows ever. Okay, whatever. Yeah, some people are highlighting other Coachella performances from past years. Also, there's a big Charlie Kirk memorial happening. I don't know where. Let's see. Turning Point Action and Turning Point USA, Building a Legacy, Remembering Charlie Kirk. Remarks delivered by Erica Kirk, Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Pete Hegseth, Donald Trump Jr., Tucker Carlson, Stephen Miller, Sergio Gore, and Susan Scott. More names to be announced on September 21st. And they're calling this the right-wing Coachella, or the Coachella for conservatives. Okay, no, it's a memorial for Charlie Kirk. Stop it. Anyway, Coachella lineup drops 2 months early. Over 60% of attendees were on payment plans last year. Isn't that crazy? So anyway, there you go. Does anyone care? I don't even know I've talked about it that long. Let's go to the main topic, and then we're going to come back to the other stuff. So we're going because I really do want to talk about this first, about an event in Mississippi that people are talking about. So it was a big topic yesterday. Okay, wait. What happened to my? Oh, here we go. So people are saying that there was a young man found hung in Mississippi near Delta State University, young black fellow. And knowing the history of, the South and America and whatever, and Mississippi, the term, let's just say the term lynched was trending for a little bit yesterday. And the circumstances, nobody knows, but the law enforcement in Mississippi said at the time there was no evidence of foul play. Said that there's evidence that points to suicide, but they're still investigating. They had a coroner's report and whatnot. Okay. Now, unfortunately, there's a young man on TikTok who decided to make a video about this incident, and he claimed to be this man's cousin. And here it is. Here it is. Today, Trey Reed was found lynched for hanging from a tree. Body discovered at the pickleball courts at Delta State University in Mississippi. Both his arms and legs were fractured. Now, that's not something that anyone officially said, okay? Because police said it might be suicide. Here's part of the report. Authorities suspect the death may have been self-inflicted, though this has not been officially confirmed. And this young man on TikTok decided to he decided to report on this, and I'm going to show you his video. Okay, this is the guy right here. Okay, now again, and by the way, this is in the aftermath of everything with the Charlie Kirk stuff, and obviously there would be some immediate assumptions that had something related to that some white people out there lynching people, whatever. But let's talk. But there's no evidence of that until this young man decided to make a TikTok about it. Let's listen to the TikTok by this guy named Young333.
Reed needs to ring all over the United States right now.
Hello, Rick
1,
Ashburn.
that is my cousin. 2, this is...
You caught that, right? This guy says he's Trayvon Reed's cousin. Listen carefully.
Needs to ring all over the United States right now. 1, that is my cousin. 2, this is the second incident that has occurred within the last 5 years at this campus. Delta State University has had a run-in with me and their policemen. They tried to lock me up for no reason, and it didn't succeed in their favor. I went on a 9-month probation, and that's it.
I know why he's talking about himself.
Just today, it was reported that my cousin was found hanging from a tree, and they trying to rule it as a suicide. Now, I just got off the phone with one of my cousins. She said she seen the reports, and it said that he was beaten and bruised.
Listen to that carefully. He said he just got off the phone with one of his cousins, and she's familiar with the report saying he was beaten and bruised. Listen carefully.
Both his arms were broken, and he had a broken leg. I'm gonna let y'all do the math. Now this.
Thank you, Avocado Stay. I'm going to stop for a second. Drop a small bullet in the tip jar. To be fair, it is still more believable that someone with broken arms and legs could hang themselves than someone who just shot themselves in the chest with a shotgun that is not even present anywhere near the body did. No, I got you. That's true. Yeah, there's been some of those. Some of the Arkansas people shot in the back of the head, called a suicide. Thank you, AD. And by the way, you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you, sir. All right, back to this young man who claims to be Trayvon Reed's or Trey Reed's cousin.
School has history for being racist. Even going all the way back to the 1980 situation that happened with the sit-in. I love to refer to that situation because that was one of the significant situations that happened with one of the black revolts that happened at the school. But still, I'm trying to be composed in this video, and I'm trying to keep it all together.
Trying to be composed.
But it's a lot of shit that happens on that campus that don't nobody do shit about. It was incidents before my big incident happened, and that I reported that nobody did nothing about. So
now, this kid may have had some traumatic experience with the campus security or whatever happened to him at this school. I'm not necessarily trying to downplay, nor am I trying to amplify it. This is what he's saying. I don't know if I believe it or not. I don't know. I don't know what happened to this kid. I don't know anything about this kid other than he claims to be this Trayvon Reed's cousin, and that he's saying that another cousin he talked to said that they're being familiar with reports that there are broken arms and legs. Let's just stick with that.
Somebody tried to report me for a hate crime, and they was the one being homophobic, transphobic, and being racist. And they was trying to lock me up until I had multiple people come out and speak against him.
Okay, I don't know what this is about.
There was an incident that I reported that it was a group of white students in a white truck while I was a freshman. They yelled at me and my friends and called us a bunch of monkeys. Please do a deep dive on this. Please, 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 please do your research on this. Do not let them sweep nothing else under the rug. Enough is enough.
Okay, so you get the point. Young man claiming to be his cousin. So, all over X and the internet, whatever, there's people. Well, here's an example of the post. Trey Reed was found hanged at Delta State University with broken legs and authorities calling it a suicide. Now, wait a minute. Broken legs? Didn't that young man just say 2 broken arms and a broken leg? So this is an example of internet telephone, because a lot of people are talking about this. His cousin said that this is what happened. Now, first of all, this is right after it happened too. So the idea that anyone who would know any of this information is suspect. I wish I could find the press report. Oh, here we go. Trey Reed was murdered. Trey Reed was murdered. Trey Reed was murdered. Trey Reed was murdered. Okay. Mississippi, Trey Reed, black student, was found hanging from a tree on Delta State campus. Authorities have declared no foul play. They said that up to now there's no foul play. Oh, but Don Lemon and others say a full investigation is warranted. Well, of course a full investigation is warranted, because they didn't say there was no foul play. They said at this time there was no evidence of foul play. But the investigation continues. By the way, the family has hired Ben Crump. Yay, Ben Crump. But the official word from the sheriff of the town, I'm sure he's some white redneck sheriff, that there's no evidence of foul play. What? Never mind, the sheriff's black. And the coroner, who's probably just some good old boy with a hacksaw. What? Huh? Oh, the coroner's black too. Oh, the county's what? Oh, it's a vast majority black county. So you'd think all the black people in this county have been very sensitive to something that could be considered a lynching, right? You think the sheriff, the black sheriff, would be very sensitive to something that might be considered a lynching. The black coroner, now they're doing an autopsy, but right now the results so far say this guy had no broken bones at all. So where did the young man, the cousin, get the information that there were 2 broken arms and a broken leg? Let me go back. Again, here's how what you're seeing on the internet. The Griot, which is what's a good word for it? It's a black publication. Let's just put it that way. Black student found hanging from tree at Delta State University. Body of 21-year-old Demontrian Trey Reed was discovered on Monday morning, prompting the university to cancel classes and campus activities. Fox 13. Delta State University found hanging from a tree. No foul play suspected. Officials say. That's the sheriff down there, that black man right there. But hey, I got to show you the video. We're going to go through a video right now. But anyway, Don and Lemon, the body of Delta State University Trey Reed was found hanging from a tree this morning. Police say there's no evidence of foul play, but this deserves a full investigation. Well, of course it does. They're still doing that. Horrors, dead bodies found in Mississippi Delta campus. So, but all over the internet, people are screaming about this one. Okay, but then we find out the supposed cousin. But anyway, everyone's saying man was lynched. And look, they need absolutely. You find a black man hanging from a tree in Mississippi, you better investigate it fully, because no one wants to hear any kind of cover up, right? But the kid who said he's the cousin of that person, This guy right here, young 333. People started finding information from the actual family. This is someone named Alexis S. Reed. Reed spelled the same way, W-R-E-E-D. Quote, rumors are spreading so fast in Trey's incident, I'm going to state that his family hasn't stated anywhere that he had any broken body parts. The family doesn't have any information nor answers to what happened. We are waiting. So therefore, don't say the family said anything. Because a lot of people are saying, oh, the family said he had broken arms and legs. Oh, Jaeger Pony, my favorite Canadian, Anna Lynn also. This is extremely emotional. Stop sharing false stories. If you want to do anything for the family, just say a prayer. Also, there is no GoFundMe made from the family. It is a scam. The cousin started a GoFundMe too. Somebody says all I need to be doing right now is praying. I ain't heard his real family saying no mess about no broken body parts, and it's sad that they're spreading that. Someone says, just curious of who the boy whose TikTok that went viral. Is he really a cousin? Alexis Reed says, no, he's not. Thank you, Avocado Diablo. Were they cousins or were they cousins? I mean, this is a legitimate question we should be asking. No, he said it is my cousin, like we're blood relatives. And we talked to another cousin who's in the family, and that's their blood relative who said they were broken bones, which never happened. So now, this morning, you know, and look, if you go look up this name, it's crazy. Everyone's immediately calling this lynching. So let's watch a couple videos though. Let's watch a couple videos. Here's one. This is what the hell did I do? That's not what I want to do. Here we go. Let's start with this one.
Hanging from a tree in Cleveland, Mississippi at Delta State University. His name was Trey Reed, and he was a 21-year-old college student. And the university police are saying from their initial reports that it looks like it was a self-termination and that there was no foul play, right? Mind you, they don't have the coroner's report yet, so they don't know 100%. Those are the facts of the story. Now, the speculation and all the other stuff is, and there's a video that was circulating, but I believe the family asked for it to be taken down out of respect for Trey Reed and for them during their time of mourning.
This might be actually a good one. I don't know.
And there are different people who were saying that this man looked like his legs were broken. He looked like he was beaten, like black and blue. I believe there's a video out.
What people though? No, again, that's internet telephone game. That's the internet telephone game. One person says, "Oh, he had his arms and both his arms and one leg was broken." Another one says, "Oh, both his legs were broken." Now someone says, "Oh, he was beaten black and blue." What's interesting though, if there is actually a lynching, I've never been a part of a lynching, but I'm going to guess that lynching usually involves more than one person trying to put someone up there. You'd think if it was on the university campus, first of all, it'd be making a lot of noise. And if it's under a tree, well, there'd be a lot of trampled grass around where that incident happened. Like there'd be all kinds of, grass mashed down and footprints or whatever. Unless, of course, they did the lynching and then they took some rakes and just raked the grass so it looked like nobody was there. I don't know how lynchings work, but I would assume it takes more than one to do such a dastardly thing for someone who's not willing to put themselves on a rope. But also, we don't even know if it's a rope because they've never reported. You don't know if it's a bed sheet, a rope, some wire, what? No one knows because they haven't said yet. But anyway, let's see what else she says here.
Of his cousin saying that he looks like he was beaten. It looks like they're trying to hide something. All of that is speculation, right?
Okay,
but here's my thoughts and opinions on it. As morbid and as tragic and as horrible as self-termination is, I hope that it was self-termination, because if it was, that is straightforward, that is cut and dry. That family can mourn their family member without all the extra
Good for
stuff,
her for
right?
saying this.
However, if this was a group termination done by these people, and
what these people? Oh, white people. I got you.
I was going to say, it's done in the South, so I'm automatically going to give it
Morning,
a side
boy.
eye. But with
TC.
the state of the U.S. right now, it could be done anywhere. Black person, rope and tree, I immediately am giving it a side eye. And to me, I'm like, why wasn't it done Like, you know, you never know the thoughts of a person going through that, right? Like, I know mine because I've been there. But, like, why was it not at their house or something like that or whatever? You don't really know the details of that. But
what I've kind of noticed in those situations of self-endings is a lot of people just like to do it in a dramatic way. That's where some of these school events happen. It might just be wanting to do it in a dramatic way. I don't know. But I don't know, because we don't know. Well, I'm going to wait for the investigation on this. But so many people are, I'm going to stop this one, jumping onto this internet angle from this one TikToker who decided to try to get some clout. Now here's another. Tyree's cousin posted this on TikTok. Oh yeah, let's immediately go with that. Tyree was lynched in Delta State, body found hanging in the middle of campus, 2 broken arms and a leg. Police already claiming no foul play. Why is no one talking about this? Oh, there are people talking about it, all right. So anyway, all kinds of videos. You can look through it. By the way, apparently there was another man found hanging from a tree in Vicksburg, Mississippi. And his name was, what's his name? Corey Zucatis. And so now people are like, oh my God, this has happened twice. Look, this black man and this black man here, they both got hanged from trees. There's something going on in Mississippi. Oh, no. One problem with this, though. This young man on the right, that is not Corey Zucatis. Corey Zucatis is a white dude, white homeless dude. Everyone putting his picture up in the place of this dude, which is sad, man. People are looking to get off the topic of Charlie Kirk, I think. But now we're going to spend some time with none other than the amazing Lucas. Now, I personally, I've been watching Lucas for a long time. Obviously, his content's changed quite a bit since the time he was, and he's still very popular. He still has over half a million followers. But he's gone almost completely onto the, his topic is always about anti-blackness. Okay. And he's jumped into this right away, which I not unexpectedly. I look, sometimes I listen to Amazing Lucas and there are some things he says I still agree with, some things he goes off the rails with. But let's watch the Amazing Lucas's video about this, because this is what happens when you rely solely on emotions and the internet telephone game. Listen up.
They must think we're stupid.
They? Who's they? Oh, well, we'll see.
Oh, my goodness. So while everyone has been worrying about the debacle of Charlie Kirk's situation.
By the way, he hates Charlie Kirk with a passion. He hates Charlie Kirk. And he's one of the people who's just, at one point, early on in TPUSA, Lucas was invited to this event of a bunch of black conservatives, and apparently they thought Lucas was one of the black conservatives. The Hotep G's was there, Brandon Tatum was there, a bunch of people were there. And Lucas went there and enjoyed it, whatever, but then later came back and said, no, I don't want to be any part of this shit. You know, he described it, and ever since he's been a I wouldn't say virulent, but he just doesn't have any time for Charlie Kirk. He hates Charlie Kirk. Anyway, so he wants to get off that. He definitely wants to get off that topic because he just has no sympathy for Charlie Kirk. He thinks Charlie Kirk's deserved what he got. That's pretty much what it is. All right.
There is actually an event that has taken place that deserves our attention.
Now, see, deserves our attention, not a national, figurehead being murdered in cold blood and all over the internet with video and in front of his wife and kids. That doesn't deserve any attention because he doesn't like Charlie Kirk.
Deserves our empathy and our sympathy.
And empathy, he used the word empathy because Charlie Kirk said he doesn't like the word empathy, but everyone leaves out the part where he prefers compassion and sympathy to empathy, but whatever, not important.
And that is the case, the mysterious death of an individual, a 21-year-old college student.
And I agree with him. It deserves attention also. It deserves a full investigation.
Trey Reed. Now, Trey Reed was going to Delta University in Mississippi, mind you. and his body was found hanging from a tree. Now, anyone who knows anything about the history of this country, forget Mississippi, understands that a hanging from a tree of a black man is not a coincidence.
I would prefer should give you pause, because I hear that, and absolutely I hear that, and I'm like, my ears perk up because I'm like, uh-oh, what happened here? So I'm not disagreeing with him about this at all.
And one thing that I've noticed is that there's a pattern of them trying to say that these are suicides.
By the way, the most common method of suicide for black men is hanging themselves. That's just a statistical fact. For some reason, or not black men, just black people in general who do actually do that. That's the most common method.
I'm old enough to remember Javion McGee. Maybe you guys may not remember, but Javion McGee, same situation. They said he was leaning with a rope around his neck on a tree. Same situation, a lynching.
In the meantime,
not necessarily familiar with that case. I'm gonna go look it up.
And the sheriff trying to tamp down rumors that are swirling on social media.
The rope was wrapped around his neck. It was not a noose. It was not a knot in the rope. So therefore, it was not a lynching here in Vance County.
I miss you like a hog miss fly.
The sheriff has come out. The police of...
Oh, I see. That man who's an official of the county is just, he's like that character in Django that just, sucks up the white man. You can't have. This is where Lucas is gone. If you don't have opinion that's 100% with him, you're just like that character.
Delta University has come out, black person, and I want you to just take notice.
No, not just a black person. The black sheriff of a very majority black county, everyone's in the county's black, officials are black, pretty much. But Lucas at the time, this is before a lot more information came out, he may not have known that.
This. Anytime it has to deal with a black death, they will 9 out of 10 get a black sheriff, get a black governor, have a black mayor. That's what they do.
They. Who's they? Oh, wow. Again, white people. Here's the thing, though. If Lucas thinks you're just parading out black people to make it to mull you over, and you don't believe it, Lucas, would you have believed it had it been the white sheriff in the white corner who said all this? You wouldn't believe it. So you wouldn't have believed it either way. I don't know whether or not the race of the person who's telling you it would have made any difference to you. You wouldn't have believed it either way.
Do that all the time. And they do
all
that
the time
to have plausible deniability.
Plausible deniability.
Well, Lucas,
okay.
How can there be a lynch? You heard the black sheriff. He said they didn't find anything. Well, you saw the black mayor. He said nothing happened. Well, you saw the black principal. That's the hustle that they do. And they've been doing this for...
Lucas, you wouldn't have believed it if it were the white sheriff or the white mayor or the white principal. You wouldn't have believed it either way. So what are you saying? Oh, so that white people could say the black sheriff did it? I don't know. They're just the official leading the investigation that has just begun. No evidence of foul play yet, but the investigation continues.
Quite some time, mind you.
Damn.
The sheriff comes out and says he's found no foul play and he didn't see any broken bones. Now...
Okay. Wait, let's hear this line.
I don't know about you. I don't know how someone can see a fracture. Unless you happen to be Superman, I'm not sure how you can, off the rip, just see, yeah, that person's arm is fractured.
Okay, now remember what he just said here, because he said, how would the sheriff know no fractures? Remember he says this, that how would you know if you can't just look somebody and see there's no fractures? That's important for something I hear later.
Usually needs to be a little more evaluation, a little more investigation, an autopsy, say, if you will, on the body. At least
How do you know that the coroner didn't make that determination by the time he said this? Sure, he said, I didn't see any fracture, but did he already have some information or not? Because that's the rumor floating around thanks to a TikTok video.
Medical doctor of some kind. Now, of course, the evaluation currently right now, and a full autopsy has been done, but right now.
Oh, you already knew that. But what's the results? You're not mentioning it, Lucas. Usually you're more thorough. Lucas is usually very, very thorough and very in tune to the facts of various cases before he says something. He does not like to be wrong, and he's pretty good at least getting facts right. So I'm not sure. Well, if there was an autopsy, did you say there was a? What were there results of the autopsy or no? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. But maybe the sheriff did. The sheriff certainly talked to the coroner and said there was no evidence of broken bones. But I'll let you go.
They are saying, hey, there's no signs of there was a fight or a struggle, that this is more in lines with suicide.
So the coroner, the autopsy says that. The coroner says that. But we shouldn't believe it. Because, well, look, again, and I'm not saying it's not, it shouldn't bring you pause. A black man hanging from a tree in Mississippi should bring any black person going, say what? So I understand that. But
this goes contradictory to what the cousin has said. Now,
the cousin. Remember the cousin? We just talked about the cousin. The cousin.
The cousin said they spoke with another cousin saying that, hey, he had broken arms and a broken leg.
Let's see. The sheriff, who was involved with probably the transportation of the body at least, and the coroner, who works with the coroner, and the person doing the autopsy said there were no broken bones. But a cousin who talked to another cousin says something different. Wait a minute. Does the other cousin, is that cousin Black Superman? As X-ray vision, seeing the coroner reports and the autopsy. Okay, what?
Now, I just got off the phone with one of my cousins. She said she seen the reports, and it said that he was beaten and bruised. Both his arms was broken, and he had
Wait a minute. She's seen the reports? Well, what reports? Because the reports, who would the reports be written by? Who would the reports be written by? The sheriff, the coroner, the person doing the autopsy. Wouldn't they be the ones writing the reports? But she's seen the reports. Did they say something different than what the sheriff and the coroner and the person who did the autopsy said? That's weird. That's a weird thing. I forgot about that part when we watched it before.
Now, to be honest with you, how I break this down, all right, given the climate where we are, how I break this down is the same way of what we saw what happened to Ahmaud Arbery. That had no one stepped in, had the GBI not stepped in, they would have brushed that under the rug. And in cases like this, with something that's so grotesque as a lynching, something that...
Again, so notice he says, as a lynching. You're alleging it's a lynching. And again, I'm not even saying it couldn't be. But right now, nobody's presented any evidence of that. But I can be skeptical too. But you seem to think you've made up your mind that it's a lynching.
That is emblematic of this country's treatment to Black Americans.
In what decade? What century? Emblematic. Yes, it is part of our history. It's an awful part of our history. But not currently in the current year in linear time. I don't know. There might be an incident or two that actually were lynchings. I don't know. It's funny because some people on the internet are saying, "Oh, this was a public lynching." No, a public lynching, everyone would know it happened. This is if it was a lynching, it was a very private one that nobody knew about until they found the body. It wasn't a public lynching, but anyway.
I wouldn't be surprised if they throw this under the rug, just as they did Javion.
Well, no, you're assuming that you're throwing it under the rug in advance. What if the evidence clearly shows it was a suicide? That's what I'm not understanding. Why would a black sheriff and a black coroner and a black medical examiner in a black county that's majority black, why would they want, if it was, they would be on a manhunt if it were, they had some idea that this was something else. What are you talking about? It's a majority black county in Mississippi with multiple black elected officials. Why would they want to sweep it under the rug if it happened? They should be asking for help from the state investigative bureaus, the FBI, Justice Department. But that's not the evidence they're finding right now. But you assume that it is a lynching. What are you talking about?
Because you have to understand what they risk upon them coming out and say, hey, bunch of white kids lynched that black boy, that 20-year-old college student, someone who was looking to better his life. Same thing with Javion McGee. Upon that happening, I would...
Stop comparing it to another case. Stop comparing it to another case. It could be completely different. And you're assuming that they swept it under the rug with Javion McGee. I don't know that case. I got to look that up. I don't know anything about it.
Argue all hell breaks loose. That's what I would argue. The point in time that they confirm a lynching by white youth of a black person on a college campus or anywhere is game over, fam. It's genuinely game over. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's no more playtime.
For who?
It's no more division.
Wait, for who? So are you advocating for that? I mean, maybe you are. I don't know.
It's game over. It is literally, all right, we are going to get justice one way or another. As Malcolm X says, the bullet or the ballot. So in all honesty.
Oh, that's interesting. That's reckless. Because you still don't know the facts. You think you've made up some, you've made up some facts in your head that I don't think you live in Mississippi. I don't think you're down there doing, private investigative work. And look, if this was a lynching, oh boy, yeah, it could cause some problems. But you seem to have decided that it was against the people who are saying there's no evidence of that so far. Now, again, if the evidence comes up, I hope they find them and they get hung, so to speak. Someone's talking about public executions. Yeah, public execution would stop a lot of shit. Put them on TV and saying this is what happens to you when you do this kind of shit. But we're a long way from that, Lucas.
My belief is they have no option but to deem this a suicide. That's why you got the sheriff saying one thing. You have the coroner, agreeing with the sheriff. They all have their narrative in line.
So you're assuming they're lying. You're assuming they're lying. Two people in towns not far from each other, both in Mississippi within 24 hours. Yeah, the other was a white dude. Although people are reporting it's a different dude.
It didn't happen with Javion McGee. Same thing that happens whenever we see a black person who has been hung. Well, it was a suicide. Well,
you say has been hung. But you don't know if this person was hung or whether he hung himself. You don't know. I understand why you don't want to believe it, because I know the history too, Lucas. But you don't know. You're assuming things based on a TikTok of someone who's not really that person's cousin. A kid who lied about being his cousin, made up some shit that the family hasn't said. A family member came out and said, that's not our cousin. We've never gotten any report of any broken bones or any bruises or anything. The actual family member said, stop talking that noise. None of that's true. But, sometimes you can't wait to report something because the first people who say it often get the most views. I know they're not doing this for views, but whatever.
Type of stress or, any type of distress. None of that. It's just, that's what happened. Because I guarantee that they fear the backlash that would occur in this country. That's my take, okay, mind you. And to coincide that.
And it seems like the little local sheriff in this majority black county and the majority black elected officials probably aren't thinking on a national scale with this yet. I don't think the Justice Department came down there and said, "Oh, don't let this get out because oh my God, we're gonna have to be watching everything, the whole country for shit." I'm surprised there haven't been riots for this already, anyway, though. But anyway,
and to frame it as retaliation for Charlie Kirk, because that's how it'd be seen. I just want you to understand. That's how
you would see it, and because you have to tie it to Charlie Kirk if something like this happened.
Seen because they are blaming black people for what happened to Charlie Kirk.
That's weird because I haven't seen that. A lot of people say, "Oh, they're blaming black people for what happened to Charlie Kirk." Someone says they're attacking HBCUs, historically black colleges and universities. I don't know where that comes from. I hear a lot of people saying it, but I haven't really heard anybody that professes that. I haven't seen it. Now, I'm missing it. Maybe if someone sees this and send me some links, but I haven't seen anyone blaming black people in particular for this. I've seen people blaming liberals for, radicalizing another kid. Are people just hypersensitive to something that they're not seeing? I have not seen it at all. But everyone on the internet's talking about it without showing me any examples. If you have some examples of black people being blamed for Charlie Kirk's death, please send them to me. I'm curious. I haven't seen it yet.
They are going out of their way and cherry picking black people who may be indifferent to what happened to Charlie Kirk and saying, "Hey,
no,
look,
I've seen it. Oh my God! If you're talking about the people that are saying fuck Charlie Kirk and all that, it's mostly white liberals. I've seen some black people as part of that, but not cherry picking, like not only showing black people celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. I've seen it's been mostly white people and mostly white women. Okay, but yes, some of the people that they're doing it are black too. It's been pretty demographically proportional, just say it, so to speak.
Proof that they hate us. This is proof that they hate us. Once again, always a victim complex. So
don't even start with the victim complex. Come on.
That narrative gets out, right? That is all hands on deck, bro. I don't know what to tell you. All hands on deck, okay? I'm letting you know. They constantly think that they can push and deceive and kill and steal and destroy. And people are.
Who's they again? Lucas, do you mean like they think they can do this over and over? You keep saying they. Like, who's the they that's controlling the local sheriff and local coroner and all that? Who's the they who's controlling those county officials? Who are they? I don't understand.
Just going to say, okay, well, we're going to deal with it. I would argue that there are many people, black, white, Asian, that are sick and tired, bro. They fed up with it because they know that reticle, as soon as it comes to us, is going to go to them. And it's gotten to the point where many are like, hey, either we fight together or we die separately.
Is he doing the Tim Pool Civil War thing? What is he doing here? What is he doing? He's kind of, in some ways, he's warning you, but he's also kind of in a plausible deniability way advocating for it.
Of evil that is taking over this country. And I think many of us are privy to it. Now, just to highlight the hypocrisy, the same people who are telling me and telling other black people, well, they already said that there was no foul play. Why are you guys trying to race bait? The sheriff, who is black, already said he didn't see any broken bones. Why are you guys trying to race bait, huh? Why are you guys trying to fearmonger? These are the same people.
I know. I haven't heard that either.
That will say
I just heard about this yesterday. I haven't seen that either. But, you know, I'm sure Lucas is more likely to get that kind of reaction because he's always on that mindset that it's about race. It's definitely about race. It's definitely, this is something, you know, something racial. So people are more likely to say that to him. I don't see it because I don't really focus on that as much. So maybe I'm just not seeing it. I've been going through all these posts on X and people talking about this and different TikToks, whatever about it. And I haven't heard, maybe I'm just not reading comment sections. Maybe that's my problem, that I haven't seen it. So he's seen it, I'm not.
Hey, Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. These are the same people that will say that. So in that case, the official narrative, right, is that, hey, he did this to himself.
Aren't you the same person who's saying that George Floyd couldn't have died from a drug overdose like the initial autopsy said? Yeah, everyone has different opinions about different things. Epstein's case is not the same as this case. I'm just saying. I mean, yeah, everyone has a different opinion about a lot of different cases. So it's not hypocrisy. Everyone has different opinions. There's a lot more factors in each case.
So, and they're quick to say, that's not true. There's no way that happened. That's bullcrap. That's a cover-up. But when it comes to a black victim, hey, that's the official narrative, okay? Why are you guys trying to race bait? They already said it. This is what I'll say. If you don't believe the official report that Epstein offed himself, but you do believe the official report that Trey Reed got a rope and hung himself from a tree in Mississippi.
How do you know it was a rope? I'm still on. It didn't say a rope. No one said a rope. All they said, they found himself hung from a tree. And the initial report was, there's no evidence of foul play at this point in the investigation. We're still investigating. But everyone jumped all over that. Oh, they said there's no foul play. No, they said there's no evidence of foul play at this point in the investigation. That they were still investigating. But anyway.
Mississippi as a black man, I think you're a racist, evil, wicked person. I think.
Oh, wait. Oh, see, now this is that thing too that a lot of people are doing. See, since you have an opinion, and I'm going to say this is, if you think one way in one case and not another, it doesn't matter why, you're an evil person. And this is, so anything that happens to you is justified. That's the implied thing about this. And that's what I think people are complaining about, because right now everyone's trying to paint their other side as evil. But when you try to paint the other side as evil, you're justified in doing things to evil that you're not necessarily justified doing to your fellow human being.
Epstein,
I'm playing it again.
Himself, but you do believe the official report that Trey Reed got a rope and hung himself from a tree in Mississippi as a black man? I think you're a racist, evil, wicked person. I think you're part of the lineage of evil.
So you're evil if you don't think the same way I do. Thank you, by the way, at Reaction Puerto Rico, dropping a deuce in the tip jar and YouTube Super Chats. Does Lucas suffer from TDS or just smokes too much? I don't know. I don't even know if he smokes. His teeth are pretty pearly white for someone if he smokes. And Avocado Diablo, a small bullet, says, there's also a third option, that he hung himself and did so in a way that other people would take as more than a suicide just out of spite for the world he left behind. Yeah, that's, you know, again, a lot of people who do that try to do it in a very dramatic way, and boy, would that be a dramatic way in Mississippi. But the idea that, oh, if you don't think the exact same way I do, you're a racist, evil motherfucker. Wow. That's wild. That's wild, Lucas. Racist, evil motherfuckers. I'm just not sure. I'd wait for the full investigation. Look, I'm willing to wait for Crump and his crew to come out there and investigate. If they come out and because they want to have an independent autopsy, great, please do. And if they find out there's no broken arms, legs, or bruises, just like the the medical examiner in Mississippi, if they find the same findings, and I say, well, sounds like they're correct, the local people were correct, am I evil for that too? You've made a conclusion that you don't know shit about. You can assume based on history, based whatever, but every case is an individual case. I mean, hello, Anon, 1, 2, 3. So wow, Lucas. You're evil if you don't think, if you think one way in one case and another way in another. It has nothing to do with racism. Epstein is a huge conspiracy that people might not believe he killed himself, especially the fact that he is associated with the Clintons and lots of extremely powerful people. There are reasons you might think that in this case and think something else in another case. Not makes you evil racist for not thinking the same thing, exact thing in two completely different cases. Holy shit.
And I think Judgment Day is coming sooner than you think.
Ooh.
Anyways, guys,
Judgment Day is coming sooner than you think. Now, listen how he ends this, because he kind of makes a threat there, not personally a threat. He's just saying, here's what's going to happen. There's going to be some dead people all over the place if this, if something doesn't go our way.
That's a video. Let me know what you guys think, whether or not you believe, that's a threat.
It was.
You just threatened people. I can't believe you did that. That's the official report. Or if you can't believe, no. I just want you to be clear. That was not a threat in any shape or form or any type of fashion.
Sure it was. It was a threat of, here's what the violence is going to happen. Not a personal, that he made a threat himself of something. Although the derangement with which he says it make me concerned about you, Lucas. Don't go out and do something crazy. But whatever.
That's just simply saying that, hey, Judgment Day is coming. That we do not know the time or the day in which we will depart from this planet. Or in which, as many of y'all believe, that Christ will come back. So I'm just letting y'all know, you should get right. You should definitely get right.
Get right with what? What if it turns out to be exactly what the people there say, a self-ending? Well, you're not going to believe it anyway. So it really doesn't matter if anyone gets right in your eyes, right? You've already made up your mind what it is without any evidence. With no evidence other than a really nasty history in this country. That's the only evidence you got. It's the only evidence. Oh, and the word of a cousin who's not really the cousin, just some guy out there trying to get some clout on TikTok. That's the evidence you have. Good luck with that, Lucas. And they just says his normal goodbye. It's cool. It's kind of crazy though. But if you go through the threads on the incident on X, the family says, "Hey, wait a minute. This kid has nothing to do with us. It had nothing to do with us." So there you go. Ms. Wildwolf sent me this. And this is what we're getting from this. They never stopped lynching black men in Mississippi. This is still an ongoing issue. Prayers of the family of Trey Reed, Raynard Johnson, Nick, whatever, all these people. Reports of suspected lynching of black men continued into the 2000s, primarily in Mississippi, where local law enforcement have often ruled death-suicide despite evidence and family claims of foul play. The killings reflected the legacy of racial violence, though they did not attract the widespread public spectacle of the lynchings from the Jim Crow era. These incidents were largely investigated as hate crimes rather than lynchings, a term typically associated with pre-civil rights era mob violence. And then they give you a list of suspected lynchings. And then someone says, interesting, it's always suicide. It's sickening. Yeah. Again, this is a very, very black county in Mississippi. I'll have that in the links today, along with Lucas's video and others. But that's unfortunately, I'm out of time, so I'm not going to get to any of the other stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on, though. And check out the aggregator, Ace of Spades morning report blog, or the morning report from that blog. It'll be in the links, along with my locals channel and everything we've did cover today. I didn't get to much because I had to watch Lucas's video today. I had to watch Lucas's video because, just because of one of the things he does. So here are the links from today's show. And I'll have them in the description also. Y'all, I'll be back tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Thursday? Oh, yeah. FTG Thursday. I'll try to have some FTGs tomorrow. There'll be plenty of them, I'm sure. And that's all for today. Thanks for joining me today on the Morning Night Live. See you tomorrow about the same time. After 10 o'clock Eastern. That's it. I got to go. My name is PDawgKnight. I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Have a great day. Hey, this is PDawgKnight, and thanks for watching today on the PDawgKnight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cashapp, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here.